Hello everyone. I'm Andrea Hyland. I'm founder of the Incubator, an online co-working space for women creatives, and an ancestral lineage healing practitioner with self-guided online ancestral programs and individual client sessions. I am guest hosting today for Jenny Robertson, and she said, start out by introducing yourself to who you are. So that's who I am. So welcome to today's Connections After Hours. That's what this one is. Gathering with the On Purpose Woman Global Community. I'm so glad you're here. I know that with this, you're listening to a recording, and I invite you to check out some of the other speakers on this YouTube channel also. So many amazing speakers have come to these meetings. So thank you for being with us. Thank you for sharing the recordings with others. So today we have an inspiring and insightful speaker today who I've had the pleasure of spending the last hour with her in the meeting, and it's really been a pleasure already, Dani, to be spending this time with you. Really have appreciated getting to know you. So our speaker is Dani Whitestone. Her topic is how to craft a business intro that stands out and gets you noticed. Yeah, I'm excited to hear about this. Yeah. So before I turn it over to her, I just want to introduce you through her bio as a customer experience strategist and unreasonable hospitality coach, which maybe she'll tell us a little bit more about that. Dani Whitestone works with service-based businesses to transform client interactions into moments that build trust and spark loyalty. Dani teaches how to stand out in crowded markets by making people feel genuinely seen and cared for, creating experiences that clients can't help but rave about. So you can visit her website, daniwhitestone.com. It's in the show page link also. And welcome, Dani. So I'll turn it over to you. Thanks so much for being here.
Great. Thank you for having me, and thank you so much for your kind words. And I'll kind of go into I'll tell since you peaked it in terms of unreasonable hospitality is this amazing it's this concept that this amazing man Will Guidara, who created the #1 restaurant in the world, created because he had is a unreasonable hospitality. You can get the book, you can watch the TED Talk. It's fantastic. And his restaurant was one of the top 50 in the world. And he thought to himself, well, how do I get to be #1? It's like everyone at this level, like everyone has great food, everyone has great service, but what can we do to stand out? What can we do to reach that #1 spot? So on a cocktail napkin, when he wrote, like unreasonable hospitality. And it's this amazing journey of how you can analyze your customer journey and take a look at all of those touch points and what we can do with those touch points to elevate your business so it is one that people talk about, so that if your customers are talking about you, then they're selling for you. And also it means they're happy. So it's a win-win-win all around for everyone. So it's a wonderful space to work in for me. And I'm here because crafting your unforgettable business introduction so you are noticed is one of those touch points in your customer journey. And it could be one of the first ones, whether you're at Starbucks getting a coffee or not, or you're in a network, other kind of networking event. Your introduction is kind of sets the tone and the stage for what will come. And it's a great way for it. I'm going to talk about one of the reasons why you want to spend some time and intention here, working on this. And let me share my screen and I'll get right into it. So give me one moment here to just get that pulled up. Is that perfect? Great. So crafting our unforgettable business introduction. And this formula for your introduction comes from the StoryBrand marketing framework, which wonderfully I'm trained in and I'm certified in their world. And it's just a fantastically clear way to say what you do. So In my little talk today, this is generally a bit of a workshop. I'm going to go faster due to the time that we have. However, at the end, I have a space where you can connect with me and I can go through this one-on-one with you. So if we do run shorter on time, just know there's more, that doesn't have to end here if you need some more help. So we're going to cover why this matters, the StoryBrand One-Liner Formula, that step-by-step guide on how to craft this, some real life examples so you can see what it looks like in practice, and then like where and how do we use this new tool that we have in our toolbox. So this is me with Donald Miller. Got to meet one of my marketing heroes. So most service-based businesses are accidentally leaving money on the table because of gaps in their experience. That's the problem that I solve. And I help them find what's missing and fix it so that we can convert more clients and turn that great service into serious growth for your business. One moment. So I'll kind of like just take a poll on a scale of 1 to 10, and you can feel free to put it in the chat, and Andrea, feel free to tell me where that is if you're comfortable. On a scale of 1 to 10, when you're out and about and whatever the circumstances, and someone asks you, so what do you do? Like, how confident are you that you're delivering an answer that you feel represents you, that you feel happy and confident about? I don't dare hit the chat and mess up my settings.
It looks like we have some 8s and 9s in
That's awesome. Oh, that's fantastic. So you guys are already rock stars. So maybe there's some people that are going to be watching the recording that may have some answers that look like some of the things we're going to talk about. Oops. Okay, so first of all, let's talk about what is a one-liner. So a one-liner is a concise statement that you can use to clearly explain your offer, and it's the most powerful tool that you can use. It's the most powerful tool that you can use to make your customer curious about your brand. So why does this matter? Most people really can overcomplicate their introduction, or it's very vague and it's pretty forgettable. This one-liner, if we put intentionality and craft it, it can really grab attention. And so people like lean into what you're saying versus just kind of have the flat, oh, I'm a da da da, and they're already kind of tuning out while you're saying this. It gets their attention and it shows you and it delivers your value very fast. And it's also that thing that's going to spark that little bit of curiosity. So they're going to want to continue the conversation and learn more about what you do. So here's some of the impact of a great one-liner. First of all, it builds trust because you sound confident in what you're saying. Instead of, so what do you do? Well, I do this, I do a little bit of this. You sound very confident in your delivery. That sets up your value. Number two, it's going to set you apart from your competitors. Number three, people will know who to refer to you. Even if you're speaking to someone who isn't like your ideal client, they'll still very clearly know who it is you need. So they can think to themselves, oh, you know what? My brother would be perfect. You need to talk to him. So without putting this intention into that one-liner, you run the risk of being forgotten, looking disorganized. It's harder for others to refer you, but consequently, you're going to lose revenue and you're going to lose time. So this formula has 3 parts, and it consists of the problem, the solution, and the result. So for the problem, we start with a problem, the problem that your target market struggles with the most, and something something that's very relatable. The solution, we introduce our product or our service is the solution, and the result highlights the transformation and the success that person working with us will experience through working with us. From they have this problem, they work with us because we have the solution to the problem, and what is that result that they get from working with us? Because it's like some of the people on this call know, it's in terms of working with our clients and our marketing, it's about the transformation that people are seeking through working with us. So let me share a few real world examples about applying the StoryBrand formula and how we can go from vague to something more compelling. I keep having to shuffle my screen around. I'm going to see if I can, up there, great. I just got it moved so I can stop jumping around. So here's kind of like a Mac, like it's not bad, but it's kind of a Mac coaching introduction. It's like for example, I'm Sarah. I'm a certified life coach. I work with people to help them reach their potential and achieve their goals. Like it's not awful, but it's not exactly like overly compelling. Versus if we talk about in terms of why is it in kind of meso problem? There's no clear problem identified. It's kind of generic. It doesn't really speak to a specific pain point or struggle. And in terms of a solution, it's the solution's kind of vague in terms of I work with people and doesn't really highlight like a specific process or benefit. Like what is your special sauce that you deliver that actually achieves this versus just I work with people. And the result, if it's kind of unclear and like achieve their goals, like that's good, but it's pretty broad and kind of lacks that tangible outcome. So in terms of crafting this using the formula we talked about of using that StoryBrand one-liner formula, we could change it to something like, for example, if you work with women, many women feel stuck and overwhelmed in their careers. Problem. I help them get clarity and build a solution so they can move forward with confidence and achieve the goals that matter most. So a bit more tangible, a bit more visual, a bit more compelling. So in terms of breaking this down of the difference, so the problem, many women feel stuck and overwhelmed in their careers. It's identifying a specific pain point that resonates emotionally and calling out a specific audience in terms of many women, if you happen to work for women. Or it could replace this with, depending on what you do, many realtors or many whatever. And this can also be flexible and you can adapt it to, you can adapt it to your audience. So for the solution, I help them get clarity and build a plan. So the solution is focused, it's actionable, and it's showing how you help. And the result, so they can move forward with confidence and achieve the goals that matters most. So the result, it's aspirational, but it's clear, and it's providing a tangible outcome that the audience can actually envision. Because with our words, 'cause I know we have some word experts on this call in terms of actually how can we paint the picture in people's minds so they can start to see it, they can start to taste it, they can say, "Oh, yes, I understand and I want that." So let's take a look at another one. Here's one for a financial planner. So like, hi, I'm Jane. I'm a financial planner. I work with clients to help them manage their money better and plan for the future. Okay, it's all right. We've heard worse. So taking a look at it, why is it kind of meh? So problem, there's no specific problem mentioned. It's general. It doesn't address a real pain. A solution, help manage their time better. Again, we're coming back in terms of vague. It doesn't really explain how. And the result, taking control of their finances is broad and not overly emotionally compelling. Versus we applied a formula to this and we have many women feel stressed. If we're focusing on women, I chose women because I'm on this call, but like many women feel stressed and unsure about whether they're saving enough or making the right financial choices. I help women create a personalized financial plan so they can feel confident, secure, and excited about their future in terms of going from like not really overly engaging to something that stands out. So again, breaking this down, problem, many women feel stressed and unsure about whether they're saving enough. It connects directly to a common worry many women face, and it kind of calls out that audience of who you're looking for to work with. Solution, I help women create a personalized financial plan. It's clear, it's actionable, and it's tailored to their needs. And that result, I chose this picture because it reminds me of my mom. So result, they feel confident, secure, and excited about their future. It's emotional. So in terms of the result, it's more emotional, and it highlights security and optimism about what's ahead in terms of painting that picture of that amazing future for them if they work with you. Versus like, I'm a financial planner, I help you manage your money. Not overly exciting. So let's paint that picture of the future. So I kind of wove this in already about in terms of speaking to the emotional pain, stress, and uncertainty around money, meet them where they're at, where the reasons why people come to you and say, like, this is a problem that I'm having. Oh, Tangible solution, a personalized financial plan, something that people can get their heads around, and that result emphasizing the financial security, but emotional piece and excitement, making it both practical but also inspiring. So step number one is define the problem. And the people that are watching the recording didn't get to be part of our breakout session. So if you don't have that time, like pause the recording now and write down, okay, define that problem. What is the problem that your business solves? You're going to want to keep it simple and relatable. And I usually run this as a workshop, which we can do if you pause the recording. So go ahead and write that down, or put it into ChatGPT or whatever AI program you use, because it's also super fun to get help there if you are AI inclined. So step number two, what's your solution? What do you do in your business that sets you apart from your competition? Have you developed your own framework? Is it a customized system? Like what do you do? How do you solve that problem for these people? And that makes it kind of highlights your unique value. So go ahead and take a moment and write that down. And that's step number three, highlighting the success. We want to paint that picture of that amazing transformation that we create for people. So, what transformation will your customer experience after working with you? Describe that ideal outcome and write that down, or put it in your AI tool. And again, to come back to this for the people who are here live, you can come back to this recording too. So, because I use this as a longer workshop, but with the recording, you can use it and just bring yourself through it. So now we're going to put it all together, and we're going to take our steps from steps 1, 2, and 3, and we're going to combine them into a singular clear sentence. And it can be more than one sentence. So here's that, again, repeat that. Sometimes people pause on the screen and so they can see it in front of them while they put this down and put paper. So feel free to pause here, but ask yourself for the help defining that problem. What frustration or challenge is your customer facing? Step 2, what do we offer that solves this problem? Step 3, what transformation will your customer experience through working with you? Now you're going to come up with a whole bunch of different iterations of this. You're going to love some, you're going to hate some, you're going to love some. And then when you start saying it out loud, realize you do not like it because for some reason it just doesn't flow just doesn't sound right. So this is something that you just want to keep practicing until it starts to start to feel at home in it. And also you can mix it up and make it your own based on where you are for your audience. So if you're in a networking event, it could be something along you mix up your intro. If you happen to be maybe you work with women in career changes, but you happen to be in a room of real estate agents or something like that. Like modify your intro so that it works for the audience that you're with. And then once you do work on this, you can use variations of this everywhere. You can use it as your elevator pitch like we've talked about. You can use it on your website's homepage. You can put it in your email signature, and you can put it in your social. So you get them. So you have this nice, concise way of the way you bring value, and you can use it everywhere. So just as this recap, we explored that one-liner and why it's essential. We learned that formula. We started to work that framework of crafting our own personal one-liner. And we're looking at ways to use this effectively in our business. So this is what I would usually do in terms of the before and after when I do this full workshop. So ask yourself, if you pause this and looked at this in terms of where do you feel now? Have you moved the needle to where you were to where you are now with this? And based on going through this, if you need some extra help, here's a QR code. If you want to scan that, I do a 30-minute workshop with people. It's free, and you can scan that and book with me, and we can work and craft on that intro to get and work and craft that intro together. Because also sometimes it's really hard to get out of our own way and talk about our own stuff. And this is where you can connect with, and this is where you can connect with me, to ask any other questions. And if you need any additional help, like crafting that one liner. And I can, and Andrea, I can throw it back to you in terms of, does anybody have any questions? I know I condensed a longer workshop into a shorter little talk here, but in terms of, creating that formula so that you can really have that, because you never, just like that phrase is, you never have another time to make that first impression. I always make sure that people have this dialed in so that they really have the best and first impression they could for their businesses when they're out in the world or on Zoom.
Yeah, thank you so much. All right, I'm going to, as the guest host here, I'm redoing this so I can come back on. I want to just say thank you so much, and we will have some time in our group to talk with you a little bit longer. But just for everyone who was listening, thank you for being here. Dani, I love your formula, and I love this power in the simplicity of it, and understanding that it's not like you said, just sitting down and then you've got the whole thing. But yeah, Yvonne was asking if you could repeat your one-liner before I turn off the recording here.
Oh, absolutely. So my one-liner is, most service-based businesses are accidentally leaving money on the table because of gaps in their customer experience. I help them find what's missing and fix that fast so they can convert more clients and turn great service into serious growth.
Beautiful. Well, listen, everyone, let's take a moment to show some love to Dani and to everyone on the recording. Just go ahead and unmute so she can hear our cheers for her. So, yay! Thank you.
For sharing.
Thank you for
Thank you.
having me.
And thank you so much for sharing your wisdom and your heart with us today. And I just wanted to remind everyone I'm really glad that you're here watching the replay. Come to explore On Purpose Woman magazine. You can head over to the link that shows you where that is. And until next time, stay inspired, stay authentic, and stay connected. All right. Thanks, everyone.